Hello, this is Olivier from BoostMyShop. In this video, I'm going to explain you how to do dropshipping with myFulfillment, that is to transmit a customer order to your suppliers who will deliver directly to your customer. In terms of configuration in myFulfillment, we have already seen the creation of a warehouse, and now we will see how to synchronize dropshipping stocks to your CMS in order to sell them. Next, we'll look at how to split orders between your warehouse and dropshipping when they are imported, and finally, how to send a dropshipping order to a supplier and confirm the delivery. The first thing for dropshipping is going to be setting up a warehouse. This is done under the menu Inventory, Warehouses. Here, we will create a new dropship warehouse by clicking on the Add Warehouse button. Here, you can see that mine is already configured. The configuration is straightforward. You just have to give a name to this warehouse, dropship, and above all to assign the fulfillment method as dropshipping and save. From there, everything is good. Once you have created your dropshipping warehouse, you will have to feed it with the quantities of products available from your dropshipping suppliers. BoostMyShop allows you to automatically synchronize these quantities if your supplier makes them available to you via URL or FTP. It is also possible to bring a CSV file to update the repository. In my example, my dropshipping already contains 2 products with quantities. So, we know the quantities available from the dropshipping suppliers. The next step is to make sure that these quantities are sent to PrestaShop or Magento. Why do we need to do this? Because the principle of dropshipping is to sell products that you don't have in stock, so basically you don't have stocks for these 2 products. The objective is to send the quantities 150 to your CMS, which will allow you to sell them. To do this configuration, we're going to go to the menu, Integration, Manage Integration, and we're going to enter your specific CMS integration. I'll give you the example of Magento 2, whereas on the other CMS, the operations are identical. So I go into my CMS integration. Under Configuration tab, I'm going to go down to the stock level export section. What's important here is that you select your main warehouse and the dropshipping warehouse. Once this configuration is done, we will send the sum of the stocks between warehouses and dropshipping to PrestaShop or Magento, which will allow you to put the dropshipped products on sale. When this configuration is done, we will have to define myFulfillment how to react when a new order arrives and whether to select the dropshipping automatically or your warehouse, so just to understand the finality when an order is imported into myFulfillment. So I'm going to take one order for each of the order lines. A dropshipping warehouse will be set up automatically. The principle is to say, I can have several products in my order, some products will leave from you, others will be managed by dropshipping. So the objective here is to automate the selection of the shipping warehouse. To configure these assignment rules, we'll go to the menu, Inventory, Warehouse Routing. The idea is to define 3 rules that will allow the warehouse to be selected. The first rule for routing the orders to your warehouse is based on stock level. The principle is that if you have products in stock in your warehouse, we will prioritize a shipment from your warehouse. The rule must be configured in the following way. We will assign it a priority of 0, which means that it will be the first to be executed, and in the actions, we will specify that the product must be in stock in this warehouse. By making this configuration, as soon as an order is imported, if the product is available in your warehouse, the shipment will be made by default from your warehouse. We will then create a second rule that will have a priority of 10, i.e. it will be executed afterwards, and will specify that if the product is not in stock in your warehouse, but is in stock in the dropshipping warehouse, at that moment we will select this second warehouse. So we give it the name dropshipping, we assign it a priority of 10, and in the Action tab, we check that the required stock is necessary, and at that moment, we select the dropshipping warehouse. Finally, we are going to create a third rule which I call Crossdocking. The principle is to say that if the product is not in stock at my place, and if the product is also not in stock in dropshipping, then it will be cross-docking. In this way, there are 3 cases. First case, when an order is imported, if the product is in stock in your main warehouse, the system stops there and assigns your warehouse as the shipping warehouse. Second case, if the product is not in stock in your warehouse, but is in stock in the dropshipping warehouse, then the product will be assigned to the dropshipping warehouse. And third case, if you have no stock for that product, then the order line will be assigned to your warehouse, and you will have to place a supply order. So, I'm creating a third rule called cross-docking which will have a higher priority. In the Action tab, I don't put any conditions on the stock, and finally I select my warehouse. Now we have created a dropshipping warehouse. We have populated this warehouse with quantities, we have configured these quantities to pass on to the CMS, and we defined the warehouse configuration rules so that the order lines were assigned to the correct warehouse. From there, the whole setup is ready to carry out drop shipping. If I go to the menu Purchasing, Drop Shipping, this is really the drop shipping control tower that allows you to track the new orders to drop shipper, but also the ones you have already transmitted. In this menu, there are 3 tabs, what we call items to drop ship, which are orders that contains at least one product that must be sent for drop shipping. Items to drop ship are orders that are waiting to be sent to the supplier. Pending supplier shipping are drop shipping orders that you have sent to suppliers and for which you are waiting for confirmation, and finally the History tab is simply dropship orders that you have processed from A to Z. So in my case, I have only one order that I want to dropship, that of Veronica, and I see that this order contains only one product, which is the Quest Lumaflex band, purchased in quantity 2, and well assigned to the dropship warehouse. The purpose of this first tab is to send to the supplier a dropship request. By default, the system automatically selects the supplier associated with this product. But I could also choose another supplier. If everything is correct, click on the Apply button, it will send a dropship request to the supplier and will switch the dropshipping to the second tab, Pending Supplier Shipping. What is essential to understand is that on one hand we could have only processed part of an order. I could very well have a customer order for which the first products are shipped from my warehouse and the second is being dropshipped. The second point is that by sending a dropship request to the supplier, the system automatically generates a purchase order. So what's actually a dropship? It's a purchase order that is a bit special because it will be delivered directly to your customer. So if I go to the purchasing menu, I find a new dropship purchase order. There is a small difference between dropship orders and purchase orders, they are prefixed with DS. If I enter my dropship order, I find the products concerned. The other particularity of a dropship order is that if I print it out, the billing address corresponds to your address because the supplier will bill you. On the other hand, when you look at the invoice, the shipping address is the address of your customer. So that's the first impact, and the second impact is that we have a second page, which you can personalize with your logo, which is in fact a packing slip. And if it's possible, your supplier can put this delivery note directly in your parcel, and your customer who receives the order will finally have a document stamped with your logo. So, when a dropship is notified to a supplier, the supplier receives an email with this document attached. The principle here is that the supplier will come and notify you, either of a refusal, perhaps that they cannot process the dropship order, or with an acceptance. So to continue dealing with dropshipping, we will return to the Purchasing, Dropshipping menu. So my order is obviously awaiting dispatch from my supplier, and we'll take the most positive example, i.e. your supplier tells you that it's okay, I've sent the order. At this point, we can hope that they have sent you the tracking numbers, so you can enter the tracking number they gave you here. Potentially fill in the shipping costs, which is optional. And confirm. When you click on confirm, this dropship order switches to history. If we go back and look at our supplier order, it's still a dropship order, but now in completed status because the commercial relationship with the supplier has been completed. Finally, if I look at the customer order associated with dropshipping, it's also in completed status. So if I had only shipped part of the dropshipped products, it would have remained in processing status, and I would have had a partial shipment. If I go and look at the documents, I see that there is a shipment that has been made today with the tracking number, and what's important to understand is that when you confirm a dropship, it will create a shipment in myFulfillment, which is ultimately similar to having created a shipment from your warehouse. In other words, you have a shipment with a date, products, and a tracking number, and all of that is sent back to your CMS. In the end, whether you ship your products yourself, or whether it's through dropshipping, the result is that your CMS will have a shipment confirmation, and will send an email to the customer with the tracking number. Thanks for watching this video, and see you soon on BoostMyShop apps.